If you enjoy the way I'm going to teach you in this video, then hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on my future tutorials. Let's start with the most important thing and what the majority of people get wrong, where to balance the ball. A lot of people try to balance it directly on top of their car, which isn't so bad at low speeds but doesn't work if you want to get the ball moving fast. The actual spot where you want to balance it is further forward on the hitbox, and on the octane that's around the top of the windshield. If you think about it, if the ball is directly on top and you start to move forward, the ball will just roll off backwards. If the ball is on the front, it starts to fall forward and you boost into the ball, pushing it back up. And that's where the second important factor comes in, which is your car's momentum. If you go too slow, the ball will roll off the front, and likewise, going too fast means the ball gets left behind. The secret to dribbling is getting perfect harmony between balancing the ball and your car's speed. If you feel like you're controlling your speed well, but still losing the ball, then try changing where you balance it by bringing it a tiny bit forward or backwards. If the ball starts to bounce a little, then it's because it's too central on the car and you need to shift it slightly forward by letting go of the accelerator. Next, let's look at how to turn with the ball on your car. So how do you take the ball to the right? Well, you turn your car to the left.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
It might sound counterintuitive, but imagine if you're rolling the ball on the ground and you want to dribble it to the right. You have to first turn your car to the left, then turn into the ball. And that's exactly the same maneuver with the ball on top. Turn a little bit to the left, allow the ball to shift to the right side, then turn into the ball to center it again. The sharper the turn, the more you need to shift the ball. Bear in mind, for really sharp turns, you have to use power slide, which I'll show later in this video. So we've learnt how dribbling works, it's time to put it into practice. First, you need to learn how to dribble without using boost. It will save you hours and hours of training. Boosting is just used to give you more speed, it isn't required to dribble. This training code will be in the description, but you can use any drill that has the ball rolling to you. Turn off ball cam every time you dribble, as it's a lot easier. Start off with a light pop. Don't boost into the ball because you want to keep it close. As we're using low speeds, you need to try catch the ball more towards the top, but you still need a little bit of a forward angle, otherwise the ball just bounces up and we need it moving slightly forwards. Once you get moving, then you have to shift the ball to the center, otherwise you'll keep adding forward momentum and you won't be able to catch up without boost. A vital point to getting this correct is to feather your acceleration. You won't be able to stay in control if you just hold it down. The only time you should accelerate hard is if the ball starts to roll forward a bit too much. Then speed up to bring the ball back to the center and start feathering the acceleration again. I can't emphasize enough how important it is to feather your acceleration and boost when dribbling. Another thing you have to be careful of is turning too much. If you have a look at my controller overlay, I only tap the analog stick like I do with the accelerator. You only need to make minor adjustments. The more input you add, the more you'll need to keep adjusting. So it doesn't matter if you're accelerating, braking or turning, you always have to use small taps. Once you can comfortably dribble to goal without boosting, then you can start feathering your boost to gain a bit more momentum. This no boost drill is really good for warming up and is one of the drills I use before going into ranked. Make sure you get the hang of this before moving on. So you know where to balance the ball, how to manage your momentum by feathering your brakes and acceleration, and you know how to turn. But before we move on to flicks, I just want to touch on how to get the ball on top. If it's bouncing, it's nice and easy, you just drive underneath. If it's rolling towards you, it's also easy, you drive forward into it and the ball pops up. The height of the pop depends on your speed or if you're boosting into the ball. If you touch it too hard and it goes away from you, then you need to brake before contact to take softer touches. You want to avoid heavy touches because you'll get challenged instantly if the ball goes too far away from you. It gets tricky when the ball is rolling away. This is where the power slide turn comes in really handy. If you struggle with power slide turns, the secret is not only shift the ball to the side, but also further back. It's the same thing when the ball is rolling on the ground. You have to get in front and turn as the ball is closer to your back wheel. Next time you're trying power slide turns, move the ball back before turning and you'll find it's a lot easier. There will also be opportunities to catch the ball on top. At first this is a little difficult and is improved with practice. This training pack I'm using will have various drills of getting the ball on top and catching it. My only tip for this would be not to turn into the ball as you're about to receive it, but rather turn away slightly so you're cushioning the impact. This way, the ball will remain close and not bounce away. Catching the ball straight on is similar. You don't want to boost into the ball, slow your speed down in order to take a softer touch. So after you practice and get the hang of dribbling, flicking the ball becomes super easy. Let's start with the most simple flick of them all, and that is the front flick. Keep in mind how we talked about shifting the ball around on top of your car, as that is the secret to doing powerful flicks. For the front flick, you've already got the ball on the windshield as you're dribbling, so just flip forward. Now the faster you're moving, the more power you'll generate in the flick, but don't continuously boost as it makes it difficult to control the dribble. Instead, you want to feather your boost like I mentioned before. If you're not getting enough height on your flick, then shift the ball back a small amount before flipping. Likewise, if you want a low flick, then slow your momentum to make it shift forward and then flip. The next flick I want to show you is the side flick. You want the ball to be at the front and to the side, then you side flip towards goal. And again, if you're missing the flick or not getting enough power, it's all about ball placement. Play around with the position of the ball before you flick and see how it affects it. And so finally, the last flick for this video is the 180 back flick. This one is a bit more fancy and difficult as it requires better control and precision. But it is worth learning because it will give you a solid foundation for advanced flicks, which I'll also be making a video on soon. If you place the ball on the wrong spot, this flick won't be as powerful. It's also more difficult to keep the ball close as you jump to do the 180. You have to manage your momentum even more carefully than the previous flicks. So that's the basics of dribbling. You might not get it straight away, but that's completely fine. Just keep at it. If you're struggling with dribbling or any other mechanics, join the Discord and you can post your clips there for me to watch and provide feedback. The link will be in the description. If you find this video helpful, hit that like button and consider subscribing if you're wanting to improve this season and hit that champ or GC or legend rank. I'll be doing a lot more tips and strategy videos, so make sure you don't miss out. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time.